my milk.
Hi you guys. So today, as you can see, we are going to do a makeup video, and well, I'm gonna say chit chat get ready with me video. I'm going to record me doing my makeup while we're talking about a topic. This is gonna be very informal, like maybe a little ratchet, not gonna lie, because I'm not a professional, as I always say. Disclaimers, I don't know any, but if you, okay, disclaimer, this is makeup, of course. I use this every time I do my makeup, well, most of the time. Disclaimer, if you see something in my background that's odd, ignore it. And then I live next to, like, I have wooden stairs, and I live under a whole bunch of trees. So if you see a gnat fly, just please. I clean my house all the time. They just are here, I'm guessing, because it's summertime and all these trees. So just bear with me, okay? So as you can see, I've already started my eyebrows. That's it. So I've already started my eyebrows. I was just about to set them, and I was like, let me go ahead and record the process, and let's talk. So we're gonna get straight into it, and today's topic is going to be toxic relationships. And what am I gonna say? I'm gonna call this 5 clear signs you're in a toxic relationship. If you see me looking over here, that's because I wrote it down, because I am very forgetful. So, you know, I'll have so much to say, and then when I record, it's like my mind goes blank. But anyways, so yes, 5 signs you're in a toxic relationship. So we can go ahead and get into it. Sign number 1 is that you search this video. And I know that may sound like, girl, but seriously, when you're in a toxic relationship, sometimes your mind likes to play tricks on you and pretend that it's not what it is, when in fact, when in fact, it's exactly what you think it is. So, you know, if you weren't in a toxic relationship, and I'm not talking about like, oh, you and your girlfriends were sitting down and you guys were all chilling and everybody's talking about, oh, how toxic their relationship is, and now you're wondering, am I in a toxic relationship? No, I'm talking about you just have this feeling like, what is going on? This relationship is not healthy, and then you're seeing signs of unhealthy habits, unhealthy things in your relationship, and then you decide, let me look up some signs of a toxic relationship to see if I'm in one. That's what I mean by that. So if you search this video, that's the first sign. Typically, as people, we tend to love so much where our heart will overpower our mind, and it'll pretend that what's reality is not reality. So yes, sign number 1, you search this video. Sign number 2, it says y'all can never have sign number 2 will be y'all can never have a normal conversation or about a disagreement without it turning into an argument. Let's say, you know, you clean the kitchen up, and you come home from a long day of work, you clean up the kitchen, your spouse ends up putting 2 dishes in the sink, and it bothers you because you just cleaned the kitchen. And you say, hey, you know, I'd appreciate if sometimes, you know, you'll just wash your own dish, you know, after I clean the kitchen. And that turns into, oh, you're just lazy, you don't ever want to do anything, or oh, you always complain about something, you always want to argue, or oh, you're just unhappy, everything I do is wrong. If it turns into that, and it's a big disagreement where you guys are arguing and saying hurtful things to each other, and it just is blown out of proportion, that's when you know you're in a toxic relationship. And I'm not gonna say like, okay, the first time it happens, it's like, oh, this is a toxic relationship. Because sometimes you may be having a bad day, your spouse may have been having a bad day. Like, you know, you guys may just have caught each other at a bad time. And that does happen in relationships, it's normal. But if it is all the time, like y'all can literally never have a conversation about anything without it turning to an argument, to the point where you almost never want to bring things up because you know it may turn into an argument, that is a sign that you're in a toxic relationship. Because when you're in a relationship with someone, it should be automatic communication, no doubt about it. Something's bothering me, I'm going to bring it to my partner, and my partner's going to fix it, or we're going to work together to fix it. It should never be a case where it's like, oh, this irritates me so bad, but I'm just gonna be quiet because I really don't feel like arguing. That's not fair. That's not a healthy relationship at all, because now all you're doing is harboring your feelings and harboring the things that are bothering you, you know, to avoid a toxic to avoid an argument that shouldn't even be an argument. You shouldn't be arguing about somebody washing their own dish, you know? If you're in a relationship and you guys are living together, you're grown enough to understand responsibilities. Sign number 3 is you have to hide from your family and friends that you're dealing with that person. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, girl, I'm grown, I'm gonna do what I want to. But at the same time, like, you know, you do have those instances where it's clear as day that you shouldn't be with this person. Your family members know it, you know it, their family member knows it. Everybody knows it, but you guys are just avoiding the fact that it's like y'all shouldn't be together, y'all don't care. So that's another sign where you kind of have to avoid even letting family members know or friends know that you guys are back together. You know, you've already cried to your best friend 3 days in a row about he or she doing X, Y, and Z to you, and then now y'all are back together, and you don't even want to tell your best friend or your mom or your dad that you're back dealing with this person. That typically means that you're in a toxic relationship, because a healthy relationship, or even a relationship on the rocks, it should never end in you feeling embarrassed or feeling embarrassed or feeling weird about, you know, your family members knowing you're dealing with that person. And if you feel weird about your family members knowing you deal with that person, 9 times out of 10 is because they know you shouldn't be dealing with that person, and you know they know that. That's why you don't want to tell them or acknowledge that you're dealing with them. And I'm not talking about like, oh, those nosy cousins or aunties that want to know your business, and you know what I'm saying, they always got something negative to say about who you're dealing with or what you're doing, you know, in your personal life. I'm not saying like that, because of course we're not going to tell those people our business, because I mean, you don't have nothing nice to say. I don't want to hear what you have to say. Now we gotta take a commercial break because I can't talk and do my eyeliner. I'm sorry, I just really can't. I am not that talented. I don't even know how to do makeup that well, so yeah. So anyways, so we went over sign number 3. And then sign number 4 is you're constantly drained, you're feeling unproductive, and you're less social. So let me really get into that, because that can be interpreted a couple of ways. So what I mean by you're constantly drained is like at the end of the day, you're always so exhausted, or y'all got into so many disagreements that day that, you know, you're just tired, you want to go home. Like, when I say you're not as social, like you don't hang with friends as much anymore. You always want to just lay down and mope, like, because sometimes relationships really can take over your life. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When you're so invested in a relationship, because I have friends like this, and I've probably been like this before too, where like your whole relationship, like your relationship is your whole life. I don't know if y'all know, but y'all ever seen like that one girl or that one boy where their Instagram was their Instagram, but as soon as they get in a relationship, every single picture, every caption, every post is about their significant other? We all know those people. But anyways, when you're in a toxic relationship, sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna use this Baby Skin by Maybelline Instant Pore Eraser. I'm gonna use 2 different primers. If you see me looking right here, over here, it's because I have a mirror right here, and then I have my mirror that I was just using down here. And the reason why I'm gonna use 2 is because the one I've been using, I don't know why, I just don't feel like it's doing anything. Like, it gives you a glow, but that's it. Back to what I was saying, like, you know, those people were like their whole life is their relationship. But like when you're in a toxic relationship, that's not good, because you're always focused on what that person's doing, and you know, you just got into an argument with them because you guys are arguing about pizza or something. So now your whole day is ruined because you were supposed to have a good day with them, and now you guys are arguing about nothing. And you know, you don't want to socialize with your friends because you're too worried about what that person will think or what that person is doing when you're out with your friends. Like, a toxic relationship can definitely take you away from the people you love as well, because you're so consumed in it that Like, and most of the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the time people don't even notice. I'm gonna say people because, like I said, I have friends like this. I mean, not friends, I've known people like this, and like I said, I probably was one of these people before. But a toxic relationship can really take a toll on you. Like, it can really, because you're so heavily invested in, it's always up, down, running around, all you can really think about and all you have energy for is that toxic relationship. When you're in that toxic relationship, it's just consuming, like, because y'all are always arguing, y'all are always going back and forth about something, and by the time you done had your day or a couple hours around that person, you don't want to do nothing. After that, you done for the day. You're over, you're tired, you just want to go home and mope or cry, or, you know what I'm saying, just recover from the tiring day that you had with them. That's another sign. And then into when I was saying that you're feeling unproductive. You know, you're so focused on this person, like I said, and, you know, you don't really want to do anything, and you have a homework assignment, but instead you spent 3 hours on the phone arguing with that person as to why you don't want them to go to that party, or why why that post they made you upset. Like, it's a couple of different things that really go into why you would stop feeling productive. Okay, so I had to take a pause and get off camera because, and it's so funny because it's like only when I'm recording is when my lashes went out crazy. I had a lash malfunction and everything, like, but it's only when I'm recording. Anyways, this is the best I could do. So back to what we were saying. I think I left off on talking about how, you know, how less productive you are. I think I was saying. When you're in a toxic relationship, most of the time it can be really draining. So with you being drained and dealing with your significant other at the time in this relationship where all y'all do is argue and there's always something with them, you never really have enough time to use that energy on yourself because it's always something. If you feel like, you know, you're not doing the typical things that you would be doing, like, you know, working on a paper, you know, if you were supposed to be working on a website for your business, or if you, I don't know, just anything that has to do with you being productive, and you just notice how you're not doing any of those things that you would typically do if you weren't in that relationship or before that relationship, then 9 times out of 10 you're in a toxic relationship. My next point is you almost always end up sad or questioning your self-worth. Okay, so let me go into detail a little bit about that. What I mean is, so, you know, like, most of the time when you're in a toxic relationship, y'all almost always have that off and on. Like, really, not even toxic relationships, all relationships, when you're dealing with a person long term, y'all have those off and ons. Now, if you have never had an off and on, kudos to you. You feel me? Kudos to y'all for staying strong and, you know what I'm saying, being able to talk it out or never, ever breaking up. But for most of us, that is not the case. For most of us, there is that off and on. There's that period where we're not together and then we're together. We're not together, we're together. What I mean by, like, you almost always end up feeling depressed or questioning your worth. I mean, like, let's say you guys have been off for a while and, you know, you're missing them and you want to be around them, you want to be with them, and then you guys finally get back dealing, you guys are finally back dealing with each other, but you're dealing with each other and now you're back feeling that, you know, not hopelessness, but like questioning your worth and not really feeling like, you know, you're good enough, or you're depressed, you're not happy, you're feeling worse than you felt when they weren't around. Because in a toxic relationship, it always comes with that attachment too. And so even though the relationship is toxic, you know, you don't want to let it go. You come back and you guys start, you know, talking again or dating again or whatever the case may be, and it's good for those 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. I'm just kidding, but, you know, it's good for that little bit of time, and then next thing you know, it's back to the old scheduled programming where y'all are always arguing, y'all always fighting. But if you get back into that relationship and then you just feel worse than you did when they weren't around, you are in a toxic relationship. Because yeah, you miss them, but now that they're around, it's worse. Your self-worth, your self-discipline, your boundaries, like everything is just being tainted with. And don't get me wrong. No, it's because I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. Normal relationships have their ups and downs too. But even if you're in a relationship with somebody, you shouldn't feel worse being with them than without them. That is a huge red flag. If you were without them and you feel sad, when you're with them, you feel worse. Definitely a toxic relationship. I hate when I do that. So as you can see, really quick, real disclaimer, I got a tattoo. And I be forgetting it's there. And every time I do my makeup, I end up getting makeup on it. And that's not good because it's not that old. It healed fast, but it's definitely not that old for me to be getting makeup on it. Why do you keep wanting to go back to this relationship where you're questioning your self-worth, you're not feeling good, and you're unproductive, you not spend as much time with your family, your friends, or anybody? Like every day just consists of that one person, but when y'all are dealing with each other, it's not like, oh, your days are always happy. Don't get me wrong either. A lot of times when you're in a toxic relationship, it's not like every single day it's just, oh, I hate this person, or oh, it's always something, or you know what I'm saying? Because in some toxic relationships, you have those great periods where everything is going great. Like you're happy, that person's happy, you guys are dating more, it just seems so healthy, but then it never lasts. And that's the part that, most of us kind of push out of our heads, like, oh, but it's so great. And it's like, yeah, but it's so great, but for how long, So I'm not going to say it's easy to spot that you're in a toxic relationship because, like I said before, sometimes our brains like to push out the truth and kind of twist things to make things look like something they're not. And I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm making a lot of noise. I'm trying to find my concealer brush, and I just can't wrap my head around why I can't find it. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this video is all over the place. I am sorry, okay? I am trying to do better, but your girl is just misplacing stuff. And anyways, back to what I was saying. I think we were on the last sign. Yeah, we was like, you almost always end up depressed or questioning your self-worth. In those toxic relationships, like I said, you do have those ups and downs where you miss that person, but then it's like once you get back with that person, you kind of get a glimpse or a reminder of why you guys stopped talking. And if you feel worse with them than without them, then that's a perfect sign. That's a very, very, very clear sign that you're in a toxic relationship, because you should never feel like, oh man, I miss this person, I want to be around this person. I wish I could see them again. I wish I could touch them again, whatever. And then you get with that person and you're like, oh my goodness, like, ugh, I hate this relationship. Why did I do this to myself? I don't want to be here. Or like, you're just questioning like, dang, am I even worth it for this person anymore? A relationship shouldn't put you in those mindsets of questioning your worth or being sad or depressed. A healthy relationship should help. If anything... But yeah, if you feel worse with that person than without that person, then that's a toxic relationship, because you were better off without them. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, like I said, in a toxic relationship, our minds, we love so hard that our minds tend to play tricks on us. And our minds tend to make us think like, oh no, it's not that bad. Or, oh no, it's your family is just judgmental. Or no, your friends are just jealous. You know what I'm saying? Your mind will really play tricks on you, and all the while, it really is that bad. It really is that toxic. It really is that unhealthy. Our brains can play dirty. Our brains tend to play dirty tricks on us. So those are the 5 signs. I'm gonna say those are the 5 clear signs of a toxic relationship, because like I said, it's not always clear. It's not always, you know, it's not always as black and white. And I hate when like you have that friend or those friends or that person, that cousin, whoever that you know you talk to, and it makes it seem like, oh well, just leave him alone. It's like, girl, what are you talking about? Or boy, what do you mean? Just leave him alone. What? How am I supposed to leave the person that I am falling for, have fell for, alone, just like that? You know what I'm saying? Don't beat yourself up, first of all, because I remember I used to be cool with this girl, and she used to beat herself up all the time about it, like, oh, like, what is wrong with me? And I'm just like, girl, you are human. You are human. You are not a robot. You are gonna have feelings for a person, whether they do you dirty or not, or you know, you feel like you shouldn't love them how you love them. It's okay. We are humans, girls, ladies and gentlemen, boy, girl, dog, cat. I'm just playing. Those are clearly not humans, but for real, you shouldn't beat yourself up for having feelings for someone and acting on those feelings. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's like you forgiving them for something, or you know what I'm saying, you still talking to them. Like, it takes time to get over people. We're not robots. Whether we like it or not, we're not robots. So we don't just have the ability to turn it off and on. You know, forget about a person like they never existed. It doesn't work like that. That's not reality. So don't beat yourself up. If you're in a toxic relationship right now, just do your best. First of all, acknowledge that you're in a toxic relationship. Let's start there, because a lot of times we can be very in denial. As humans, we are very in denial. That's why you had to search this video, because since you knew it, or bro, you knew it, you just couldn't put your finger on it. You wasn't sure. You was you know what I'm saying, your mind played tricks on you, like, nah, couldn't be me. Nah, not our relationship. Yeah, that relationship, the one you're in, that one, yeah, toxic. And it's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You live and you learn, but it's all about what are you going to do next? Because yeah, you can know you're in a toxic relationship, but what are you going to do next? Do you want to deal with that person? Do you feel like that person is worth it to be dealing with this toxicity? I personally feel like, and I know I'm like, you know, I hate that one friend that'd be like, girl, just leave him. Because I know it's not that easy, but you do need to come up with something. You can't be dealing with a person that makes you feel less of yourself. You shouldn't be in a relationship where every time y'all have a disagreement about something small, it turns to a huge argument or screaming fest, a disrespect dance party where now they're dancing around your feelings and telling you crazy stuff and saying, you know, awful things to you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be happening. I don't think anybody's worth that, to be honest. You shouldn't be treated as if you were just disposable or you're a teddy bear. Let me tell y'all something. So, this don't got nothing to do with signs of toxic relationship, but I really just want to talk about this. I really just want to touch on this. So, I remember a long time ago, I forgot who said it, but I was watching a video on YouTube. I guess like he was a counselor or something. The girl was like, why is it that he would treat me so badly, but always need me to be there for him, or always need me to be that person for him? So he told the girl, he was like, you're his teddy bear. So I'm like, what, a teddy bear? What are you talking about? So he was like, you know, when you were a kid, like your mom or your dad would make you mad or make you upset, and you'll go in the room and you'll take your anger out on that teddy bear and beat the teddy bear up and, you know, throw your little fit or whatever. But then you'll come back to that same teddy bear when you need some comfort and hug on that teddy bear and kiss on that teddy bear and hold that teddy bear for comfort when you're upset. And he was basically explaining to her, like, that's what your significant other, or, you know, the person in her life was doing to her. You're his teddy bear. You're who he goes to, you know, you're who he takes his anger out on all the while, wanting to cuddle after. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the point of me saying that was. I'm not gonna lie. I really felt like I should share that with you guys. just in case, you know, you were wondering, dang, well, in this toxic relationship, why is it that he treats me like this? He treats me like this, or she treats me like this, and then, you know, wants me to be there for them, or always comes to me to comfort them. And that's because you are their teddy bear. And it's not to make you feel bad, because sometimes when you're in a relationship that a person is going through a lot, you may be just the only person that they have, their counselor and all that, but that's not your job. But yeah, that's my take on toxic relationships and 5 signs you're in one. If you have any more tips or tricks for people dealing with the toxic relationship, I would definitely recommend you commenting down below and giving them, you know, some advice or some signs that you know of that, you know, you could share. Because we've all been through something, you know what I mean? So why not help another person out? If you can't, you know, try to drop some encouragement. If you don't know any signs and you're not really sure, drop some encouragement to that person, you know, or to someone in the comments. Spread some positivity, because if y'all know, or if you've ever been in a toxic relationship, you know there's a lot that's not positive about it. So a little positivity can go a long way for someone in a toxic relationship. And then if you feel like you are the toxic one, work on that too. Work on that too. You don't want to be the person that damages someone who you love or think you love or may possibly love. You don't want to be the person that damages them. So if you may be the toxic one in the relationship, you know, try to fix that. Try to work on that. Do some self-reflecting. You know what I'm saying? Talk to someone about it. Learn how to cope or learn how to communicate better. Do something to help yourself out and your significant other. Do I recommend being in toxic relationships? No. I'm not gonna lie, it can take a huge toll. Like I said, we all know that one person where their whole life revolves around their relationship, especially during the honeymoon phase. I personally think that's a little much, but if you're like that, you know, teach his own, do your thing. But, I gotta have my own identity. Anyways, I don't know what I'm even talking about anymore. As y'all can see, I'm just chatting. If y'all want a video on how to get out of a toxic relationship, let me know. Oh, matter of fact, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just say this before we end this video. A huge sign you're in a toxic relationship is you guys are constantly disrespecting each other. I don't care how mad a person makes you or what the argument's about or what they did to you. You should never be disrespecting your significant other at all. It doesn't matter what the situation is, because at the end of the day, you have to show respect. Like, respect people. Respect goes a long way. So if you're in this relationship with the person and y'all get into arguments and now there are B's and A's and S's and all types of stuff and it's the same from you, y'all have to let each other go, because you don't even respect that person. You don't respect that person and they don't respect you. So how could it be healthy? Like, how could it even be healthy? How could it turn into something healthy if y'all can't even respect each other? It's not possible. Now, you know, I do know those people. There are some people out here who, like, that's how they talk to each other in their relationship, which I really don't understand. But if that's not y'all thing, and every time you get mad, you're calling your girlfriend or your boyfriend a BI, or, you know what I'm saying, a HOE, or a, you know, all types of just disrespectful stuff, and that's not how y'all talk to each other, and that's not y'all thing, and you're doing it out of anger, or y'all are doing it out of anger, y'all are in a toxic relationship. A healthy relationship, you don't even want to disrespect your significant other, whether you love them, whether you're just like them. You know, y'all just started the relationship, y'all just getting into it. This y'all first argument, or this y'all fifth argument, y'all been together for years. It doesn't matter. It don't matter how long y'all been together. It don't matter what y'all relationship was before y'all got together. Like, it should never be that. You shouldn't feel comfortable disrespecting your significant other, and they shouldn't feel comfortable disrespecting you, because that's where all the, you know, questioning your self-worth and stuff like that come from. Because your significant other, when y'all get into arguments, constantly reminds you of how much they hate you, or there's nothing healthy about it. I don't care what nobody say. There's nothing healthy about that. Okay, I'm gonna come back with my hair done and my outfit on, and then we're gonna wrap the video up. Hi, you guys. So this is the finished look. Okay, my hair just in these box braids. I got them done last week. They're actually pretty long too. They go past my butt, so there's that. And yeah, that's it. I do appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like these type of videos, please give this a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and comment down below any tips that you have for someone in a toxic relationship, whether it's how to get out, how to cope with it, signs that they're in a toxic relationship that I didn't mention. Please feel free to do so. All positivity, no negativity here. Thank you in advance. And of course, like I said before, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.